Hey, good morning. This is Brian Mudd, the cheat sheet for Wednesday, October 19th. Alright, so now you're going to be able to have your car talk to you. Ford has really taken what GM started with the OnStar service to a whole new level with Sync. And with 2012 models, except for the Ford Ranger, you'll actually have your car read text messages to you. Now, you know you can't text and drive. In fact, in Florida, it's illegal. But no worries about that, because with Bluetooth, if you sync up your phone to your Sync for your 2012 Fords, somebody sends you a text and you're on the road, it'll read it to you. And then, see how all this technology can work together. You have your new iPhone, and you have Siri on it, right? So you can go ahead and voice dictate back to your phone the text message you want to send, and send it. No texting involved. Pretty cool. All right, Social Security. Must be a presidential election year next year. You know, we haven't seen an increase in Social Security in more than 2 years, and it's not that the program is any healthier right now than it's been. We're still on schedule to run out of money in the not-so-distant future with the program, but an increase of 3.5% is coming for recipients next year. Short term, this is obviously good news for the people on the receiving end. It looks like it'll be 3.5%, which means $35 more per $1,000 that is received by current Social Security recipients. This is a coffee for my mom. I'm talking about the Starbucks Blonde Roast. You know, I like a big, bold coffee. In fact, the Starbucks I have at home right now is the extra bold. Well, my mom, I've always said that she makes coffee like tea. I swear that most of the time she makes coffee, you can actually see through, like if you put it in a glass, you could see through the liquid in there. Not my idea of coffee, but that's what this is going to be. For those folks like my mom that like a little less intense consistency in their coffee, Starbucks will now be catering the Blonde Roast coffee for those folks. Record student loan debt. We've talked about the rising issue with student loan debt, but it's going to set a staggering new record. Before the year's up, $1 trillion in outstanding student loan debt in the U.S. $1 trillion just in student loan debt. And the reason that this one is as troublesome as any debt out there, as long as you can use student loan debt to obtain a career and be successful, it's great. Problem is, as we know, less than 50% of students these days end up obtaining work in their course of study. And the problem with that is, with an unemployment rate of 25% for those that are college graduates under the age of 30, you know, a lot of people that are defaulting on these record student loan debts. And the problem even then is, in most cases, even in bankruptcy, you can't get rid of student loan debt. So it's with you once you've got it. Just a reminder to be extra smart before you or your kids end up taking on that student loan debt. Research in Motion made a big product announcement yesterday. This was somewhat expected, but it's going to be welcomed nonetheless by, I think, a lot of RIM customers, BlackBerry users. The BBX platform, it's going to have a lot of different features, but among them, and this should hit sometime early next year, it'll have the ability for BlackBerry's phones to be able to receive Google's Android apps on the phone. You know, to this point, one of the knocks against BlackBerry is that it doesn't have the app selection that, say, Android, which is the top smartphone platform, does. And apps are as important to the functionality of a phone as the phone itself. And so for a lot of people that might have BlackBerries because that's the phone the company wanted them to have, this will give them full Android flexibility for the apps and the programs that they're able to use on it. And I think it gives BlackBerry a chance of being more successful than it would otherwise be on its own. Here's an interesting story. The Journal of from Americans, the American Pediatric Association, the docs who look after our little kids. Here's what they're saying. Kids under 2, you got to keep away from the TV and all electronic devices. They're actually now saying, well, research shows that it can stunt the development of your kid. So if you think that it's an educational show on TV, I'm just going to sit the kid in front of it. Under 2, they're saying it can hurt. Same deal with iPads, smartphones, the whole deal. It's not stimulating them, it's stunting their growth. You can read the full entry from the physicians on the physical cheat sheet if you want more information. Google is going to encrypt your search results. This will mean that if you own a website, you won't necessarily know all the places that people have searched to find your website, but it does mean that if you're searching for results, they will be more protected from the owners of those websites. And Sony is going to have its next generation mobile gaming device, the Vita, available in February. That's the cheat sheet for today. See you tomorrow.